sponsored by HelloFresh. We have been using, as you guys know, HelloFresh for like 3 years now. Super convenient on those nights when you're busy, you're rushing, you've got sports practice, whatever, you had work all day, and you come home and the HelloFresh is waiting for you to prepare it in the fridge because you ordered online, showed up at your door. You didn't have to go to the grocery store. Did you know that you can save up to 25% by using HelloFresh versus going to the grocery store? HelloFresh offers so many recipes to choose from each week to help you break out of your recipe rut. And their pre-portioned ingredients means there's less prep for you and less wasted food. And feeding the whole family has never been easier with larger box sizes for more servings and more savings. HelloFresh is committed to having fresh and delicious food available now more than ever and is taking the extra steps to keep their customers and employees safe. Try this. Go to HelloFresh.com and enter my code OffTheRanch14 and you will get 14 free meals, including free shipping. That's HelloFresh.com. Use my code OffTheRanch14 and you will get 14 free meals, including free shipping. Try it out. It's linked in the description below. You won't regret it, I promise. Thanks to HelloFresh for sponsoring this episode of Off the Ranch. The Chromino. For those who don't know, we ran it a while back in Cletus and Cars, and it has not run since then. I kind of broke it a little bit. We got her very hot, ran it hard, wide open for a few minutes, and then it died at the end and could not. It actually did start back up, and then it died again, and then it never started again. So we started taking stuff apart, and we made a video a while back where we actually pulled the fuel regulator off. We were trying to make sure it was getting fuel. It was. We put a new one on. It didn't change anything. So we thought it wasn't fuel, thought maybe it'd not spark. We did a bunch of diagnostics. We're actually talking to Holly a lot. They make the ECU for this. We had the Terminator 2, is that right? Yeah. Terminator X, hey Burke. They had the Terminator X in there and it worked fine, and we thought maybe that was wrong, that was messing up. So we actually talked to Holly. They said replace a few things. We replaced cam sensor, crank sensor on the engine. That did not change anything. We actually sent our ECU to Holly and they just sent us their upgraded model, the HP EFI, and it can do a whole lot more like data logging and everything, and we thought that might fix it. Maybe it was a weird bug in the ECU. Nope, exactly the same thing. So we replaced the map. We tried bypassing a bunch of things, tried to figure out what it is. Then we just tried turning the crank here. So we took all the spark plugs out, put a wrench on the crank, and there is a lot more resistance than there should be with the spark plugs out when turning the crankshaft. So we messed up something in the engine. We tried everything to figure out if it was something that we could do without pulling the engine. We think there's something bad, some bad stuff happening in our Texas Speed LS. So yeah, we're gonna pull an Chromino engine today. Would you guys stay and help? That'd be great. Okay, we got her out. Look at that beauty. So we decided we would leave the headers on it until we got it out, just so we didn't have to try to get header bolts out by reaching down in that engine bay. So now we just do it easily, but looks freaking hilarious with those giant upsweep headers and pipes kicking out. We are going to take transmission off, take headers off. We're gonna put it on an engine stand and then flip it over and pull the oil pan off, see what we can find. Oh, whoops.
Perfect.
Sprung a little bit of a leak. It's fine. You stay. Right there. Gotta pull the converter off now, and then we'll get it on an engine stand. We have this engine stand now, so we are going to take it off our engine hoist, put our engine stand. This thing allows us to flip it over and look at it underneath, try to figure out what is going on, and it makes it where it's not precariously hanging and swinging around. Not really dangerously, but just not as safe as if it's hooked down, bolted down to an engine stand. And these are cool because these little arms go wherever you need them to go. Bolt in, just like a transmission to bolt in basically, to that thing. Hold it up, hopefully. We are bolted on to the engine lift, the engine stand I mean. Now we're gonna take the engine hoist lift thing and take all the weight off of this, and it should not fall to the ground. Success. Check this out. This is a power steering pump, and it's a little bit swollen. Dude, everything was melting. I mean, like, look at that. This was brand new. That temp sensor there got so hot that it was melting the plastic around the temp sensor, melting our plastic. This is just a plastic little tank. Plus, I'm sure there's a lot of pressure in it, but it was so hot right here, it started melting that. So we're actually gonna replace that with an aluminum tank. We're gonna put some things on it next time to keep it cooler, because this thing just got so hot during that last burnout. Yee, you're so strong. Oh,
Ready to go.
Nice. Okay, we're gonna take that thing off. Huh, didn't even know it said Holly down there. It's weird. We got this engine when Cletus came in town, and we put it in 2 days, so like I didn't have a lot of time to really look at this thing. We were just working like crazy trying to get it in there, so things like that. I never actually saw that it said Holly on the bottom of the oil pan because we were going so fast. So this gets your oil from your oil hole and puts it on your zinger dingers. There's a little bit of metal on that little screen on the pickup. Okay, hold on. We were gonna like take some things apart and start looking around, and then we just looked at the oil pan, and no need, let me show you. Check out, focus, look at that. It looks like there's just sand from a beach in here. It's all just metal shavings. So when you see that much stuff just sitting at the bottom of the oil pan, and it's everywhere. I mean, this, you can see there's just grit everywhere in there, which the oil coming out of it looked pretty clean, but it was leaving all of the grit down in the bottom. I mean, there's a lot of broken stuff. So I got this engine very hot and ran it very hard at a high RPM for a long time, and we probably got a little low on oil and it started tearing some stuff up. This thing does need a rebuild, needs new bearings for sure. Hey, look at that. So we got
ready to put this on for you.
Yeah, I actually, like, we finished it and we were like, hey, that thing got way too hot. We're like, we need to get an oil cooler for it, maybe even a bigger radiator. So we're gonna rebuild this thing. We're gonna send this thing off to Texas Speed. Texas Speed is the one who built this engine. We're gonna send it back to them so they can look it over, make sure everything is good to go. And we're also gonna see if we can sweet talk them into putting some upgrades on this thing. I have some ideas. So we're gonna box this thing up today, send it off to Texas Speed, and then when it comes back, we're gonna have a lot more things like that to keep it from, you know, doing this again. Because we probably are gonna keep abusing it. I haven't ever driven this thing nicely. So we're gonna actually put the oil pan back on, everything back together, tape it up, and then we're gonna get it ready to send out. Okay, we got it actually loaded up. They, Texas Speed left this little engine stand with us. So we just put it back on that. I stuck it on a pallet, and we'll probably load this thing up and drive it over to Texas Speed. They're in Texas, obviously. They're actually in Austin, so like a little over an hour from us, so easy little trip. And we will take it to them and let them work their magic and see if they can make the old El Chromino run again. Also, got a little surprise for you guys. Y'all ready for this? Okay, let me, these are nice, right? And we had some other wheels on the back. Let me show you those. Beauties over here, just amazing. These are steel wheels, very heavy, and we put big truck tires on them, and then we did the burnout, and you can see we got them pretty messed up. But what would be nice is some nicer, lighter, and more chrome wheels. Prepare yourselves, Demolitia. Red, oh my gosh, oh no. Oh my gosh, we got the big old wheel. Look at those things. Dude, freaking chrome that's so shiny you just don't know what to do with yourself. Look at this beautiful chrome and this giant BF Goodrich all-terrain tire. Yes, that's what I'm talking about. El Camino, you will ride again. So this is a Torque Thrust 2. My dad talked about Torque Thrust 2s and Torque Thrust Ds and freaking loves them. So anyway, we got some big Torque Thrust wheels. We got the KO2 giant BFG tire. Oh man, looks like we need to do a little bit more sticker work with, sorry BFG, we'll get you. God, this thing's gonna be sweet. And that's not all. In all our burnout competitions, we always just ran some random weird wheel up front without a truck tire on it. Not anymore. We got another one, a matching Torque Thrust. Dude, freaking baller over here. Jeez, it's gonna be so good. A little bit smaller tire than the back, but still giant. We actually are gonna have to cut that fender out a little bit to make it even fit in there, which we already did back there. No big deal. So the next video with this El Chromino, hopefully we will have an engine to put in the engine bay, and I'll get that fender cut out and get these wheels mounted, and then we'll take it for a spin. It's gonna be great. Thank you guys so much for watching this episode of Off the Ranch. I love you, and I'll see you next time.
Oh. Hey, what camera is that? Number...
Shut up! Don't tell Mayor.